a salve, and then he'd be right back in lane after Old Chicken almost used all of his mana. So, yeah, I rarely seen bounty runes have actually that much effect, but it seems like it's been a big deal in the middle lane.
Side lanes all actually top lane. That was where we're going to see the first blood paparazzi able to pounce in and burning. I mean, he's just been sitting with this glaives harass.
Yeah.
Noticed that the ogre was hanging around a little bit too low on health earlier on.
He has 10 armor on Terrorblade, but Glaives of Wisdom is very, very good at dealing.
We're just picking the queue. They're going to interrupt the pull as such. Mid lane, CS roll Chicken and Cicada, 7 for 3 against the 5 for 2. So Bristol's still with an edge, thanks for being able to zone axe out early on in the game. Ram and Sylar looking to force Q away from these creeps so Sylar could get the last touch on a few of them. Yeah, mid lane certainly off the back of that momentum, going fine for Old Chicken against the axe. And bottom lane, Old 11, keep the pressure on, and this in July lane on the Batrider, 6 for 1 against the 13 for 2, so Darkseer certainly finding more out of it. Ninja's getting something, but because of the lanes, he's not really able to do much in terms of shutting down Sylar, but it looks like he doesn't need to, because this top lane, Sylar isn't finding anything there either. He's still sitting on 0-0.
He's in Strug City. He has to go for the magic stick first. Tough.
Really seems like IG.VIT just have the lanes sorted out, and EHOME, the heroes, have tried to do something about it, getting Sylar into what arguably is a little less of a scarier place, but it is not helping him when it comes to farming. A Terrorblade with no farm and minimal levels, it makes the game incredibly hard for Sylar.
I agree, especially because his mid-core is a Bristleback. Like, yeah. Bristleback can't come near lane and get a double kill unless he gets a haste. But it's, you know, not a puck, not a hard scaling one like an OD either. So it's, I think they will suffer if Terrorblade does not get the gold that he needs. And he's finally picked up his first CS.
Getting there.
He's getting there. He has 230 gold. Are you talking about boots or?
Well, yeah, that is the question. How's he going to build in a lane like this with the minimal resources he has?
Boots, raindrops.
Paparazzi going in, and just look at this. Sylar just gets bursted down and ooh, just find himself away, but the curse is too much. And they don't only find Sylar, they get a second. Garda being forced to run the hell back, and just the damage that Bernie's doing with his glaives and the curse is absolutely crushing this lane. And this is just a pretty appalling start here for EHOME in terms of their carry. Bottom lane, Old 11 is doing all right. Mid lane, as we've seen, Old Chicken is holding his own, but this top lane is it's an absolute disaster for Sylar.
It's Iron Talon time or lane swap time. So now he has Magic Stick. I guess that's good versus the Batrider, but he is still sitting at a very low CS amount.
Look at these shoots from Paparazzi. That was absolutely glorious. He's probably going to pay with his life here, though. Old Chicken coming into the neighborhood and finishing him off. But some very nice fancy footwork from the Slag to get himself another solo kill. Will be knocked back to base. Oh, man, this is a little bit of an awkward start. Yeah, the lane swaps. You know, Sylar may have a bit of a better chance down here, but immediately Burning's there ready and waiting in July. So this is not going to get any easier at all for the Terrorblade in these early stages.
He has 1 point Flame Break. Flame Break plus Napalm plus Curse. I think they can kill him. And he only has 500 HP.
Yeah, sitting on 0 stick charges, use them in that attempt to stay alive up top. They've got to do something about how far Sylar is behind, and it's kind of fall to Old Chicken, who was able to find decent amounts in this first 5 minutes in the laning stage. And obviously the combo as well that they could perform with Old 11, setting up fights, as he himself has had an alright start on the Darkseer. And getting a good bit of vision down. Angela being left to his own resources on the bottom. It's Burning. He may just look to get another deeper ward down around the mid lane, and indeed he does. And maybe even sees if he can go for a bit of an attempt onto mid lane. Old Chicken down to half. Gonna hang around potentially, stack the Ancients, get that top rune at 6 minutes in. And this is gonna be something that's pretty big for EHOME as well. They do have this really nice early Ancient stack going on, and no attempt from IG.VIT to control it yet at this point.
Let's see if he gets another armor creep. He does not. At the Ancient stack. Anyway, smoke around the mid. Can they kill Cicada? He has no points in goo. So that means they have to start it off with an ignite. which is not easy unless they go the long way around. Still have a healthy duration left on the smoke.
Meanwhile, top lane, Paparazzi, oh my goodness! He stood near the creep, and he only just got the level 6 Shadow Dance from that. I don't know if it saves necessarily. Old 11 trying to surge after him. Paparazzi is pinging it out. We did miss the kill mid, but I want to look at the action here. Looks like Paparazzi will survive, but mid lane, yeah, the tri lane was able to come in and take down the axe. Top lane, Paparazzi there. Very, very fortunate. Hitting that level 6 at just the right time. Meaning that Old 11 doesn't get away looking for that kill, hunting for it, desperately just behind the tier 1.
He can TP out or surge away. Ooh, the value. The soul ring into the buying arcanes. Value.
Should be able to stand up the lane for a little longer, not have to worry about going back. Perhaps though with the 6 can duck and dive in out of the vision, get that regen up. So you continue CSing. Meanwhile, Sylar, progress-wise, he has resorted to just going into the jungle. Managed to get 16 CS, is still obviously nowhere near where he wants to be, but at this point there's not really any movement from IG.VIT that's threatening his position in the jungle. They will find that timing. Talking about timing back on the side of IG.VIT, Sakana, not on too much. In July, he's reaching that halfway point to the Blink Daggers.
You sound a lot more excited about saying that. That's your prediction.
I was like, in July, he's closer. He's closer to that Blink. Really is, and once the Blink Dagger online, and you know, we'd expect the Global Silence probably to be there decently timed. I mean, Burning halfway through level 4, and also getting some stacks up for his own team.
They need to take out the Ancient stack soon. Because they need to catch up. Like, they need levels on Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
Actually, they've swapped over Nyx Assassin 2 to mid lane, and let's see Bristleback. Is he going to be taking out the stacks? Just chilling. Oh, he wanted one more level.
So I was got to be careful there. He's been hunted down by In July with an Invis rune and the Lasso at the ready. And there is also an axe in the neighborhood. Sylar could be in a bit of trouble here. The Firefly is there. Sakana moving in to follow through with the call and dunk down onto the Terrorblade. They'll lose him. But meanwhile, at the same time, Old 11 actually got away with the solo kill onto Paparazzi's Slark. So at the end of the day, both teams losing their position 1. And unfortunately, we couldn't see how Old 11 got away with that because we were watching the action down bottom. But I can only imagine it was a repeat of what we saw last time. But this time, Slark and Emer's players going around a bit. Sakata with a rotation towards the mid lane, looking towards Nyx Assassin. The damage from the Glaze of Burning allowed them to get a second kill in quick succession. Sakata falling low, hits the Quill Spray spam. Silence there as well, but with the stick charges, Sakata's actually able to keep himself alive, get himself back, actually comes back in for a call to control Old Chicken, gets himself out of range of the Quill Spray. Sakata playing on the edge of his seat here. Might actually end up finishing off Old Chicken. But IG.VIT really keeping on the pressure onto EHOME. In fact, Old Chicken's still hanging around. He's got to be careful. Trading this one, there'll be a purification and a repel onto In July, allowing him to get himself back out to safety. But a lot of chaos there in the mid lane. It results in more intel stolen for Burning. Did manage to pick up the Nyx Assassin, and they didn't lose anything for in return in that mid fight.
Nice try by the bat there. He trusted his Omni to heal him as he went into melee range. That's teamwork.
In July, 1600 towards that Blink is going to come at a very, very reasonable timing. Bristleback now, Treads and Vanguard done, so Old Chicken a little bit more beefy in the fights. We saw that. Got very close to being able to bring him down, but not quite close enough. Kane's done for Goddess, and he's just trying to find his level 6 now. Indeed, that's what he's hanging around in the mid lane, and it looks like the same ideas in the head of Burning. Halfway through level 5, wanting to get that Global Silence on. And so that really will be the timing. Getting the Global Silence on Silencer and getting the Blink Dagger on in July. That's when IG.VIT can look to go for picks and feel pretty confident that they won't be punished in return for going for those plays.
Thinking about what build the Bristleback goes for, it looks like Dark Zero will be going for the Greaves, so Bristleback went for the Treads and the Vanguard. I've seen some people go for the super defensive build, like the Pipe plus Vanguard, but then you just get ignored and not focused down. So I like the more aggressive with a Band of Elven Skin, perhaps into a Yasha and Old Chicken in a lot of trouble.
Now IG.VIT going in very, very deep here. He's rather tanky here, Old Chicken. And the question is if they can actually bring him down. They'll try and chase, but with the Quill Spray stacking up on IG.VIT, they realise that they cannot go for this kill. Back away. Garda's there with a Vendetta up. He did find that level 6 at the end of the day in that mid lane. And now he's looking to see if they can set something up to allow EHOME to get back in on this one. He's the easier target. It might just be Q. Q goes for the TP out in the tree line. Guard is there, ready and waiting with the stun. Zakata coming back across. In fact, with the purification and the call, IG.VIT could turn this one around. Guard up, falling low, dunk down. That's going to be one. IG.VIT could look to chase down for more here. Old Chicken on the retreat. Injulight coming back in. Firefly's back up. A good flame break to knock him back. They'll have the Berserkers call up in 3 seconds. Zakata trying to chase down. They have to be careful at the same time. Heavy Quill Spray stacks building up, and immediately he calls and he runs, realizing that he's got 6 stacks on him. The damage that Old Chicken is outputting is just too much for IG.VIT to deal with.
They really need this blink back on Injulight so they can make cleaner jumps.
And he's pretty much got it hit. On an Old Chicken, but again, not a lot he can do to control him on his own.
That curse is so annoying as Bristle.
Yeah, it just puts a halt on to getting anywhere. You're slowed down, and the one kind of mechanic that you've got to help speed you up is only going to hurt you even more. And we have Garda. Long dead. I'm maybe seeing if we can find anything, but the ward from IG.VIT will spot this all out. So indeed, Ninja just goes for the straight TP out. Is he going to make it? No! The last of second. Buy that blink, son! Buy that blink, he does. He will pay with his life. But that, very, very close there. They wouldn't, I don't think he saw Garner necessarily, but he saw the other 2 of them heading towards that region. And literally 0.1 second left on that TP. But at the least, in July, able to get that blink dagger done on the way out.
That might give EHOME a false sense.
That's true, because they think we killed him, he had nothing picked up, we've slowed down his blink, but in reality, he's just picked it up.
Yeah, and they might try and push his T1, thinking that, okay, if he's at like 2,000, you kill him, he's at like 1,700, they need another minute. And this minute where they actually feel safe could be the death of them. Let's see where Batrider TPs to. Actually, his TP is down. He does have a smoke available.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structure.
So the plan is in July, indeed. A beeline for the mid lane. They have everyone bar Paparazzi, just obviously still trying to finish off the Shadow Blade, and she is going to have a relatively good timing off. 200 in the Shadow Blade will be complete. It looks like EHOME are aware that some sort of play like that would be happening towards the mid. They've already pushed back from going for that tier 1 tower. And IG.VIT for the wraparound. Q and Zakata not smoked up though. In terms of warding, this one is going to catch both the Axe and the Omni out, so they know that there's some sort of movement coming in. They don't know that Burning and Injuly are there. They know to expect 2 of them. Lano will reveal himself here, and we'll see what kind of a jump in they could go for IG.VIT. Injuly looking for his best target. With the Firefly, and there's the global and jumping, but Injuly doesn't actually get the lasso off. I don't know if he necessarily had kind of cold feet at the end of it and didn't want to go in on Old Chicken, but he jumps in, doesn't grab anyone, and that is Global Silence down, and EHOME, they're ready to abuse that opening.
Without the glyph, should be easy tower for them. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what was going on with Batrider there. Maybe not expecting the Global Silence to come out at the time, or maybe misclicked perhaps.
Oh, that's just a very weird attempt at an initiation from IG.VIT, and at the time where it kind of counted the most, having that Blink, Lasso, and Global Silence at their disposal. Well, Shadow Blade is now complete on Paparazzi. He's got that on his way out, so potentially this item they'll be able to use and try and find and pick up. They were pretty unsuccessful there with that Blink Dagger reveal on in July.
And EHOME will turn around and smoke on their own side of the map. They're actually very close to Greaves on 11. That's going to be a great counter initiation for them. Greaves off the global and then vacuum wall. And Ion Shell, Surge, Bristle.
They should have spotted this one out though. They do have this deep observer with IG.VIT, and I think that did clip part of the smoke. July's out, and the rest of IG.VIT backing up towards the safety of their tier 2 area. So EHOME, they won't find a kill. They find a tower out of this one though. Creep wave being pushed around by Old 11. And looking to get themselves the 3rd tier 1 of the game. More money to the bank. So let's switch over to the old network. See how we're doing. It's indeed Paparazzi the top on the slot, but very, very close as he's closely followed by Old Chicken's Bristle. And pretty even really across the whole board at the moment. It's only a 2k lead for IG.VIT, but with EHOME taking towers, will be closed. IG.VIT want to fight. There's a Blink Dagger now, Zakata as well. We'll see what they can find. Scarlet gets the jump in immediately onto the Ogre. Who's going to be dropped back here as well. They get the lasso on Scarlet, dragging him back. GA's there as well to keep IG.VIT buffed up and allow him to chase down for more. They've already found two. They'll get the call onto the Darkseer, bringing down Old Lemon as well. Old Chicken tries for the TP out. He's going to make it. They've got nothing to hold him back. But IG.VIT there with a very strong defense around the tier 1, taking 3 heroes down. Really not in any threat at all of losing any of their own, with Q just straight up popping the GA, making sure there's no way that EHOME can turn back into that one. And it looks like EHOME weren't really fully prepared for that kind of fight, because they were bringing Sylar in. Sylar still using the space up on the top lane, and they just didn't have the manpower to tackle IG.VIT head on.
Nor did they have the vision. They didn't put the ward on the high ground next to Roshan, and they also just did not seem that prepared for the initiation. Bristleback was hitting the tower, and then Ogre came up, and Ogre's pretty much a free kill for them. They don't really want to lasso the Bristleback because he's so farmed. And then, even if they like blink call and make the Bristleback face towards you, and then you go in with the Bat Rider, it's still not that great just because he's so darn tanky. And like, well, what if he gets sundered, or what if they vacuum wall counter initiate? Things could go a lot poorly for them, if they go on the Bristle. So that means everyone else needs to watch their position. They need to play around the Bristle much better.
Got it. Another very handy Invis rune, allowing him to close in the gap onto the Nyx Assassin. Taking down Garnet. Back to Cicada as he closes his way towards the Blade Man. Well, in the mid, they now even find themselves something else. Firefly and the lasso back up and available in July, jumping in onto Old Lanham. They'll be able to pick themselves up another more stolen intelligence here for Burning. 15 minutes in, 16 intel stolen. 12-4, it could start getting a little bit messy for EHOME. I mean, the kills certainly favor. We're now starting to see net worth to swing a little bit heavier. Sylar still has a lot of time that he needs to catch back up to the power that the IG.VIT's cores have. You know, Paparazzi's in a great place, 2.1k on top of the Shadow Blade. If indeed he wants to go straight for that Silver Edge upgrade, which he almost certainly will, yeah, picks up the Ultimate. He's already got the recipe as well. So Silver Edge is now done at 18 minutes in, and that is, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare for this Bristleback. As we said, he is tanky, but with that punch as well and Slark turning into the fights, it's going to be very hard for EHOME to utilize this drop.
And they haven't even forced really IG Vitality to use their global silence that often. They like get kills with the lasso without really using that much else in a lot of these fights. And Nyx has just become super poor. Look at his net worth. Like, this is why a lot of teams just don't run support Nyx. Like, he's in the back, he got caught out by Slark, and now forced to already up his ultimate while the rest of IG take down the tower. Global silence is going to come out. Let's see if they actually have to find anything in this one. Looks like there's a little bit of a defensive one to make sure Paparazzi doesn't go down. Surge forward onto Old Chicken, trying to close the gap onto Cicada, eyeing up Q and Burning as well. Starts to back himself off. Cicada gets the call off before the Nyx Assassin is able to stun. GA comes through as well. Sylar trying to do what he can, but there's not a lot he can with the GA up. Look at the lasso onto the Terrorblade, dragging Sylar back. The call to follow through. It's a beautiful combination there from IG.VIT to not take down just one, but two of the cores of EHOME. Cicada jumping in for more. Will be held back by the Fire Blast of Old Lanham. It's a good multicast as well as a 3-man vacuum, but there's no follow-up from EHOME. They've lost 3. Paparazzi storming forward, looking to help the team find a fourth, and indeed they will. They surround Old Lanham, and IG.VIT with some perfect execution there, some fantastic kind of juggling of skills between both the Axe and the Bat Rider there to get that done. And they get 4 heroes and a tier 1 as well.
That's really rough. That was supposed to be the fight that they wanted to take because they just picked up the Greaves, but like the vacuum wall was pretty decent, but where's the follow-up? It's very hard to coordinate like a Nyx stun, let's say, after that, especially when he was caught out by the call last fight. But regardless, like their lineup is based maybe around the Bristle, like being able to damage the whole entire team, but as of yet, he like can't really do that much. There's still a Silencer who just amplifies his curse every time that he sprays some quills, and pretty much it's only the Darkseer that can get out of the global silence, and now even the Bristleback is vulnerable with that Silver Edge pickup that you mentioned.
This is looking very, very good for IG.VIT.
Yeah, it's already gem time.
Yeah, and Burning, he's 20 in stolen intelligence and 20 minutes in. He wouldn't have it any other way. Sylar still sitting in a pretty sad place at the moment. He's only 400 ahead of obviously Q's Omni Knight. It's a tough game for the TV. A lot of weight on Old Chicken's shoulders still at this stage of the game, and we saw there in that fight they can bring him down. It was just some fantastic play from the Axe. 5-1-5 on Sakana. Boots of travel, Blink, Blade Mail, Vanguard. He is more than happy. Having that on an Axe of 21 minutes is it's nothing less than ideal.
For sure. And both teams scouting each other out with smokes, but doesn't look like anyone's gonna pop. Just looking for free kills as they try and meet up with the Slark, but they just narrowly missed their window.
EHOME, as you said, just getting anything out of this movement. Whereas IG.VIT, Paparazzi, the security to take the tower. Silar's in the mid lane, and Paparazzi's just going to find him out. He's going to miss the pounce. Still manages to kind of clip up to the high ground there, which is fortunate enough for him. Gets the vision to allow Angela to jump forward with the lasso. Cool to follow through. I mean, as we're seeing, just this use of the lasso and the Berserker's Call just absolutely destroys the Terrorblade. There's no chance for Silar to fight back or keep himself alive with a clutch Thunder. And they may not have finished there. They're moving in for more. They get a break hit onto Old Chicken. Again, Sakana's down with the follow pull. It's a good vacuum wall and stun to follow through, but the damage follow-up isn't there. Again, Q pops the GA. There's been a buyback for Silar. They just call GG. They tap out, and I really can't blame EHOME. As IG.VIT, and you know, it's well, the first day we're seeing the teams here in these groups, and I've not had the chance to really watch these guys, but this team looks really hot back.
Yes, they play very, very well. At the same time, I think EHOME's draft was just weak. I think they had a lot of good player-hero combinations in terms of Old Chicken getting his Bristle back, they had Silar getting his Terrorblade, but at the end of the day, like, what is Terrorblade's armor